It's no secret that Elly De La Cruz is must-watch box office TV, and he took it a step further and actually called out other superstars around Major League Baseball. He believes he is the most exciting player in baseball, and I tend to agree with him, so I'll break that down and much more in this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. What's up, everybody? Welcome into 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis. Today I'm going to be talking about Elly De La Cruz and his brilliant stretch over the past week or so. Now, he's been an up-and-down player. He's still in his second season, his first full year as a big leaguer, and it's going to take some time to adjust for him, and that's normal. You don't walk into the major leagues and just become an overnight sensation right away unless you're Aaron Judge or Pete Alonso. But Elly De La Cruz came in with a lot of raw physical tools, with so much talent just oozing out of him, and now he's finally starting to put it together. He's become one of the premier players in Major League Baseball, and he's must watch. He's box office television every single time he steps on the field because he's such a mixed bag. You don't know what he's going to do at any given moment. He could steal 5 bases in a game. He could hit 3 home runs in a game. You just don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes he can go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. That's another big part of his game as well. But the stuff that he does, the amount of tools that he possesses, puts him at the top in terms of who you want to watch when you turn on your TV to look at Major League Baseball. But let's just get into the video here. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well. It means the world to me. But let's take a look at a conversation that he had with Jeff Passan, one of the more notable MLB insiders around baseball. And he said this. So Passan asked him, who's the most exciting player in baseball? And Elly De La Cruz said, you're sitting right in front of him. So this is his version of just calling out other superstars. And you could argue that Aaron Judge is more exciting just for his sheer consistency and how much better he is at the dish than everybody else. Or you can say it's Bobby Witt Jr. for his 5 tools and the fact that he's the best defender at shortstop in Major League Baseball, steals a ton of bases, hits for power despite him playing in a pitcher's friendly ballpark. My money is on Elly De La Cruz when it comes to the most exciting player in baseball. When it comes to the best player in baseball, I think it's a conversation between 3 guys, and that's Bobby Witt Jr., Shohei Ohtani, and Aaron Judge. I think those 3 guys stand at the top when we're talking about the most talented players, the most consistent players, and their numbers back it up as well. You got Aaron Judge and Ohtani are going to run away with the MVP awards in their respective leagues. And then you have Bobby Witt Jr., who is not too far behind Aaron Judge, despite Judge putting up historic numbers and, quite frankly, putting up video game numbers. Let's just take a look at the stats here for Elly De La Cruz on the season. He's got 4 wins above replacement. He's batting .268 and only 20 home runs. So those numbers don't really stand out at you if you're just looking at them on the surface. But 58 stolen bases. That is a ridiculous amount of stolen bases, and the fact that he's able to do that, you know exactly what's coming when Elly De La Cruz reaches first base, or if he reaches second base, he's going to steal, and there is absolutely nothing that you can do about it as the opposition. So I expect him to probably be around the 90 stolen base mark once the year is over. I think 80 to 85 is a bit more realistic, but if he can get hot and keep getting on base, I don't see why he can't steal 90 bases. He's got that blazing speed in his back pocket, and like I mentioned before, there's just nothing you can do about it as the opposition. There are 3 things that are certain in life. It's death, taxes, and Elly De La Cruz stealing bases. And you could just see what he did last night. This was like a tweet before his night was over. Elly De La Cruz is 3 for 3 tonight and now has 6 extra base hits in the last 2 games. So that's fantastic. And this was another stat that caught my eye, or another few stats that caught my eye. Very hard to follow. I still don't understand what's going on here. Feats in 2024 for Reds Elly De La Cruz, who wears number 44. So a bit of a coincidence here. Back-to-back 4-hit games. A game with 4+ hits and 4+ stolen bases. A game with 4 extra base hits. A game with 4+ walks. That's pretty impressive. No other MLB player in the modern era has done all 4 of those over his entire career, let alone in 1 year at age 22. So not only is he calling out players and saying that he's the most exciting guy to watch in baseball, he's also making history, and he is chasing history right now. I expect him to steal a ton of more bases as the season rolls along here. The Reds aren't doing great, but they're sort of in the mix for the NL Central. A bit of a disappointing season for them. A lot of people expected the Reds to take a step forward, and it just hasn't really happened. But you can see the stats right there. Elly De La Cruz has not been disappointing, and he has taken a step forward. So I guess that's the one silver lining that we can take out of this if you're a Reds fan. And again, they're not too far behind. They're 8.5 games back of the NL Central, but time is starting to tick here, and it's gonna take some doing for them to catch the Milwaukee Brewers, who sit at 63-49, having a really nice season in their own right, and the Reds right now sitting at 55-58, 8.5 games back. They're 5.5 games back of the wild card race there, and let me just take a look at some of the teams that are in the wild card race. They are chasing the Atlanta Braves, who sit firmly in that final wild card spot without Spencer Strider, without Ronald Acuna Jr., without Ozzie Albies as well right now. So there are some openings there for some teams in the NL Central. Also, the Pittsburgh Pirates, 4 games back of that. So the NL Central is a lot better than some people may have thought coming into the season. It's maybe not as top-heavy as some other divisions, but the teams have been competing, and they've given themselves a chance here late in the season. But if the Reds want any chance at a sniff at the playoffs, Elly De La Cruz is going to have to do some of his finest work down the stretch here. There's not that many games left, about 35 to 40 games left in the season, and EDC has to turn it up a notch if he wants to will his team to the playoffs, because their pitching is okay. I mean, Hunter Green is having a breakout season. He's got a sub-3 ERA and 120-plus innings, so it's been nice to see him come along and become that dominant starter that the Reds thought he could be. But apart from that, not too many things going right. Noelvi Marte was suspended for the majority of the season, so they're starting to gel a little bit as a unit. I don't think they're a playoff team as of yet, but they look good. Elly De La Cruz looks good, and I think he's going to be a superstar player in Major League Baseball for a very long time. But that'll wrap it up for this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. What do you think of Elly De La Cruz calling out other superstars around the league and proclaiming himself as the most exciting player in baseball? I agree with him, like I said in the intro, and I think that confidence is great, and it bodes well for his future success going forward with the Cincinnati Reds. But that'll wrap it up. Thank you guys again for making it this far. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and give me your thoughts in the comments down below on what I said in this video. Do you agree with me, or am I crazy? And also, check out Baseball Town. If you're near Quebec or Ontario in Canada, check out their physical locations. They got everything that you need. They're your one-stop shop for everything baseball or softball related, whether it's bats, gloves, batting gloves, cleats. They got you covered. The best equipment at the most competitive prices. So check them out today. And if you're not close to the stores to go shop in person, then check out baseballtown.ca. They're a huge supporter of this channel and would not be possible without them. So check them out today and give them my support. Give them your support as you give me support on a daily basis. But that'll wrap it up, and I will see you tomorrow.